You've been told your whole life that if you want to get ahead, you need to work hard, earn more, and the money will follow. So, you finally get that raise. Your salary increases. Your paycheck is looking nice. You think, this is it. Things are about to change. You've earned it, after all. But wait. A few months later, nothing changes. The raise disappears, and you're still living paycheck to paycheck. You're not splurging. You're not irresponsible. Yet, your savings aren't growing. You're still feeling broke. Sound familiar? Now, you might be thinking, wait, what? Didn't my salary go up? You've worked hard for this raise. Yet somehow, it's not making a difference in your financial life. You're probably blaming inflation, rising costs, or maybe even your spending habits. But here's the twist. It's not inflation that's making your raise vanish. And it's not about how much you're spending. The real reason is something much deeper. Human nature. The way we adapt to new income. And the psychology behind lifestyle inflation. In this video, we'll explore why your salary increase doesn't actually fix your financial problems. Why your raise keeps disappearing and leaving you feeling broke. Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll start seeing the hidden forces at play in your finances and how to finally break free from this cycle. Make sure to subscribe to Next Capital for weekly insights on building lasting wealth and mastering money psychology. You see, the problem isn't that you're making more money. The problem is that you're not making better decisions with that money. When you get that raise, your brain doesn't just celebrate the increase. It automatically adjusts to this new income level. This phenomenon is called hedonic adaptation. It's the reason why, after a few months, that raise doesn't feel as great as it did at first. Your brain quickly normalizes the new lifestyle. You get used to the upgraded car. You start wanting a bigger house. Subscriptions pile up. Suddenly, things you didn't think you needed now feel like essentials. It's easy to think you're doing everything right. You're making more money, yet you're still stuck in the same financial cycle. But what you're missing is how your brain is constantly pulling you back to your comfort zone. Think about it. As your income goes up, so do your desires. The same person who was content with a basic car is now looking for a luxury model. The same person who used to shop only once in a while is now online buying new gadgets every few weeks. This is where things get tricky. You're not even aware that you're doing it. It's subconscious. It's your brain's way of keeping you comfortable, but at the cost of your financial growth. It's not about working harder. It's not about earning more. It's about understanding the psychology of money and how to break free from the invisible traps your brain sets for you. If you want to break this cycle, you need to shift your mindset. You need to stop thinking that earning more will automatically lead to financial freedom. It's time to rewire how you handle your money. It's time to unlearn the habits that have been holding you back. Make sure to subscribe to Next Capital so we can continue this journey together and unlock the true potential of your wealth. So, you've upgraded your lifestyle, a new car, a bigger house, more subscriptions. But here's the catch, your expenses now match your income. You've been living paycheck to paycheck with a lower salary. And now that you've earned more, your spending just adjusts to the new income level. This is the core of lifestyle inflation. As you earn more, you start feeling the need to spend more. It's not just about upgrading your car or house. It's the small things that add up. A subscription here, a higher cable bill there. Eating out more often because you think you can afford it. Impulse shopping for things you don't need, but they're affordable now. One great example of this is human nature's tendency to adapt. In psychology, this is called hedonic adaptation. When people get a raise, they feel a temporary boost in happiness. But over time, they get used to the new lifestyle, and that initial happiness fades. What's left is just the habit of spending the extra money you earned. Take the case of a 35-year-old professional named John. He got a $10 raise, and for a while, he felt like he could finally breathe. He upgraded his car, went on a few vacations, and started dining out at more expensive restaurants. 6 months later, John realized he was no better off than before the raise. Why? Because he had adjusted his lifestyle to his new income. His expenses had grown in tandem with his salary, leaving him in the same financial position. Here's the painful truth. You can keep getting raises, but without changing your mindset and financial habits, those raises will keep disappearing. If you're not careful, your lifestyle inflation will outpace your ability to build wealth. Before we dive deeper into how to break this cycle, don't forget to subscribe to Next Capital for more insights into how to manage your money, create wealth, and avoid common financial traps. Let's dive deeper into why you're stuck in this cycle. It's not just about spending money on bigger houses, flashier cars, or more subscriptions. It's about how the cycle of lifestyle inflation becomes self-perpetuating. You get a raise, you upgrade your lifestyle, and then your expenses increase. But the problem doesn't end there, it goes beyond your expenses. Here's how it works. Once you get used to the new lifestyle, you start to feel a sense of entitlement. You've earned more, so now you deserve to enjoy it, right? So, you buy more, spend more, and justify it as normal. But when the lifestyle becomes the new normal, it's easy to forget that you were once living on less. Take Sarah, a 32-year-old marketing manager, for example. She received a significant pay raise a few years ago, which allowed her to rent a luxurious apartment, get a new car, and travel more. But over time, Sarah realized that her financial situation hadn't improved. She thought to herself, "How could this be? I've earned more than I ever have." She had upgraded everything, but her savings didn't grow. Why? Because the more she earned, the more she spent. Her lifestyle inflation had caught up with her salary increase. This is what many people fail to recognize. Your income doesn't automatically equal wealth. Your ability to build wealth depends on your ability to control lifestyle inflation. If you let your lifestyle match your income, you'll stay stuck in the same financial rut. Lifestyle inflation doesn't just drain your bank account. It drains your opportunity for future growth. Each time you upgrade your lifestyle, you lock yourself into a new set of financial constraints. You're constantly trying to keep up with the higher costs, and that leaves little room for investment or savings. It's a vicious cycle that can be hard to break. But here's the silver lining. It's not all hopeless. You can still break free from this cycle. It just requires a shift in mindset and behavior. If you want to start building true wealth, you need to stop letting lifestyle inflation dictate your financial future. Instead of allowing your spending to rise with your income, focus on keeping your expenses low while increasing your savings and investments. The less you inflate your lifestyle, the more you'll have to invest in your future. Before we continue exploring ways to combat lifestyle inflation, don't forget to subscribe to Next Capital for actionable advice on how to manage your finances, grow your wealth, and avoid common financial traps. Let's talk about the deeper impact of lifestyle inflation. It's not just draining your bank account. It's also killing your potential for wealth growth. When your expenses rise to match your income, you create a financial ceiling for yourself. Think of it as a mental ceiling. You'll find yourself stuck in a cycle where you feel like no matter how much you earn, you can't seem to get ahead. Let's look at the science behind it. Behavioral economics suggests that we are wired to adjust to new levels of comfort. This concept is known as hedonic adaptation, or the hedonic treadmill. What does this mean? It means that once you get used to something pleasurable, like a higher income or a new car, it quickly becomes your new baseline. What once seemed like a luxury soon feels ordinary. You stop feeling the excitement, and then you start seeking the next upgrade. Here's a clear example. David, a 28-year-old accountant, recently got a promotion that came with a significant raise. At first, he thought, "Finally, I can save more, put money in investments, and maybe even travel." But within a few months, he noticed his spending creeping up. He upgraded his car, started dining out more, and took weekend trips. Instead of saving, he found himself barely able to save more than he had before the raise. The problem with hedonic adaptation is that it's a moving target. Your new normal keeps getting pushed further out of reach, and you end up stuck on the treadmill. You can increase your income, but if your spending keeps rising at the same rate, you're not building wealth, you're just running in place. But it's not just about spending on cars or fancy vacations. It also applies to smaller, seemingly harmless expenses that add up over time. Subscriptions, luxury coffee, unnecessary upgrades. All of these can create a lifestyle that outpaces your income. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sure, we all need to treat ourselves sometimes. Is this really a problem? The problem is if you're not careful, those small upgrades become a financial habit. Before you know it, you've created a lifestyle that requires you to earn more and more just to keep up with it. Think about the habits that drive this cycle. When you get a raise, you celebrate by upgrading your lifestyle. Next, you feel the urge to keep upgrading, and the cycle continues. You start to link happiness to spending. But happiness, as countless studies have shown, doesn't come from things, it comes from experiences, relationships, and purpose. If you don't manage your lifestyle inflation, it'll manage you. This is the secret behind why so many people, even with decent salaries, never seem to get ahead. The constant lifestyle upgrades prevent them from building long-term wealth. They are trapped in the cycle of spending, unable to create enough savings or investments to break free. The good news is that you don't have to be stuck. You have the power to control your lifestyle inflation. By being mindful of your spending habits and focusing on saving and investing, you can ensure that your money works for you, not against you. But it all starts with awareness. Once you realize that lifestyle inflation is quietly eating away at your wealth potential, you can take steps to slow it down. Before we go deeper into how to avoid lifestyle inflation and start building wealth, make sure to hit subscribe to Next Capital for more strategies on how to manage your finances, break free from financial traps, and start building lasting wealth. At this point, you might be wondering, if lifestyle inflation and hedonic adaptation are so powerful, how can you ever break free? The good news is, the key to building wealth isn't about making drastic changes all at once. In fact, it's often the small, consistent habits that have the biggest impact over time. Let's break it down scientifically. Studies in behavioral economics have shown that small habits compound over time, just like compound interest on your savings. Imagine you start saving $5 a day. At first, it seems insignificant, but over the course of a year, that $5 adds up to $1.825. And if you invest that money, earning even a modest 5% return, it grows much faster. What's even more interesting is that your financial behavior often becomes a reflection of the small daily decisions you make. Think about it. If you consistently put a little bit of money into savings or investments, it becomes a habit. Eventually, that habit creates momentum, and you start to save more. Your mindset shifts, and you no longer see saving as a chore, but as a part of your daily routine. A real-life example. Rachel, a 32-year-old software developer, started by saving just $10 a week from her salary. She didn't think much of it at first, but after 6 months, she realized that those small contributions had added up to over $1. Now, Rachel uses that money to invest in a low-cost index fund. The more she invests, the more she sees her wealth grow. That small habit of saving $10 a week has snowballed into something much bigger. But it's not just about saving. Small habits extend to everything. Think about your daily actions, like choosing a healthy meal over fast food, going for a walk instead of lounging on the couch, or reading a few pages of a financial book each day. These little choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they add up and lead to a more disciplined, wealth-oriented lifestyle. The real challenge is staying consistent. Consistency is what makes the difference between success and failure. It's easy to start a new habit, but the real test is sticking with it long enough for it to compound. Wealth isn't built overnight, but by taking small steps every day. And those steps, taken consistently, will lead to massive results over time. You might be thinking, but how do I stay consistent when life gets in the way? Here's the secret. Automate as much as possible. Set up automatic transfers into your savings or investment accounts. Set recurring reminders for healthy habits. Automating your financial habits takes the mental load off and helps keep you on track. The more you can automate these small habits, the more effortless they become. Over time, they'll feel as natural as brushing your teeth. But consistency goes beyond just financial habits. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports your wealth-building journey. For example, Surrounding yourself with people who share similar financial goals and values can help keep you motivated. You won't feel like you're fighting an uphill battle. Instead, you'll be supported by a network of like-minded individuals who understand the importance of saving, investing, and living below your means. Think about the people you spend your time with. If they're constantly spending money on things they don't need or talking about how expensive life is, that mindset will rub off on you. But if they're focused on building wealth, saving for the future, and living frugally, their mindset will gradually shape yours. So, how can you start building these small habits today? Start by making one small change, whether it's saving $5 a day or spending 10 minutes a day learning about personal finance. Then, make sure you stay consistent. Over time, that small habit will compound into something bigger than you ever imagined. If you're ready to build wealth and make these small habits a part of your life, don't forget to hit subscribe to Next Capital for more insights and strategies on how to build a secure financial future. In this section, let's talk about one of the most important elements of financial success: discipline. It's easy to think that making more money will solve all your problems. But the truth is, discipline is what really makes the difference between those who accumulate wealth and those who stay stuck in a cycle of spending. So, how does discipline relate to wealth building? Let's go back to the basic principle of delayed gratification. In simple terms, delayed gratification means putting off immediate pleasure for a greater, long-term reward. It's the ability to say no to instant desires in favor of something more significant down the road. In personal finance, this might mean saying no to a new luxury car today to save and invest for a more secure financial future. Think about this example. Tom is a young professional who gets a significant salary increase. Instead of buying a new car, he decides to put that extra income into his investment account. Over time, that investment grows, and Tom finds himself financially independent much earlier than his peers. This is where the magic of compound interest comes in. The earlier you start saving and investing, the more time your money has to grow, and the more disciplined you are about making regular contributions to your investments. The faster your wealth grows over time. But it's not just about the amount of money you save, it's about the consistency of your contributions. Consistently putting a little money away every month is much more powerful than saving large sums sporadically. Discipline in finance is also about saying no to impulse buying. In today's world, it's easier than ever to make impulse purchases. From online shopping ads to the pressure to keep up with trends, it's hard to resist the urge to spend. But true financial discipline comes from resisting these temptations. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy life or treat yourself occasionally, but it means you prioritize long-term financial health over short-term gratification. Another example. Sarah works as a freelance writer and makes a decent income. Every month, she sets a budget and sticks to it. She doesn't splurge on unnecessary things. And instead, she allocates a portion of her income to savings and investments. Over the years, Sarah's consistency has allowed her to build a solid financial foundation, even though her income isn't as high as others in her field. Discipline also involves planning for the unexpected. When you make a financial plan, you're not just thinking about your expenses today, you're thinking about your future, your family, and your peace of mind. That's why an emergency fund is crucial. Even if you're on a tight budget, consistently setting aside a small amount each month can provide a cushion for life's surprises. In the long run, financial discipline becomes a habit, a lifestyle choice. It doesn't happen overnight, but over time, the choices you make will become second nature. The key is to start small and remain consistent. The more you stick to your financial plan, the easier it becomes. Just like healthy habits like exercising or eating right, financial discipline is something you must commit to. It's not always easy, but the rewards are worth it. When you practice financial discipline, you gain control over your money, rather than letting your money control you. And in the end, it's your financial discipline that will lead to lasting wealth and security. Remember, building wealth isn't just about making money, it's about how you manage and grow the money you already have. If you're serious about building wealth, now's the time to subscribe to Next Capital. In our next video, we'll dive deeper into actionable steps you can take today to start building your financial discipline and wealth. Now that we've discussed the importance of financial discipline, let's move on to how small, Consistent actions can accumulate into massive wealth over time. This is one of the key principles that wealthy individuals follow. And it's based on the idea that small decisions lead to big results when made consistently. The power of small consistent actions is often underestimated. People assume that in order to get rich, they need to make one big move, whether it's a huge investment or a career leap. But the reality is, wealth is built by making small, smart choices every day. These decisions add up over time, compounding just like money in an investment account. For example, let's take a look at the habit of saving and investing a small percentage of your income. Imagine Laura, a teacher who earns a modest salary. Every month, she decides to save just 10% of her income. It's not a huge amount, but she does this consistently. Over 20 years, that small percentage grows thanks to compound interest. And Laura finds herself with a comfortable retirement fund. This approach doesn't require a six-figure salary. It just requires discipline and the ability to commit to saving even when the amounts feel insignificant. Another example is tracking your spending. You don't need to cut out every little expense to build wealth. Instead, focus on the small, consistent habits that make a big difference. For instance, Alex spends a few minutes each day reviewing his bank statements, categorizing his spending, and ensuring that his expenses stay within his monthly budget. Over time, this habit allows him to see exactly where his money is going, and he can adjust his spending to prioritize saving and investing. It's also about making intentional purchases, rather than buying whatever is trending or what feels like a good deal at the moment. Wealthy individuals make deliberate decisions. They invest in quality over quantity. They understand that buying less, but buying wisely helps them maintain a higher level of wealth in the long term. The key to building wealth through small actions is being consistent. Consistency is everything. Wealth doesn't happen overnight, but with daily smart decisions, you can create a substantial financial cushion for yourself. It's about showing up every day and making decisions that align with your financial goals. Whether it's setting aside a small amount for savings, tracking your spending, or making wise investments, these habits compound into large financial rewards over time. This concept is also known as the aggregation of marginal gains. It was popularized in the world of sports by British cycling coach Dave Brailsford. The idea is that improving small things by just 1% can lead to a big difference when compounded over time. In the context of personal finance, this means focusing on the small wins that, when added together, will eventually bring you closer to your financial goals. Wealth isn't created by a single bold decision. It's created by making 1,000 small decisions that align with your long-term goals. If you commit to making smart, consistent financial choices, you'll see your wealth grow. The good news is that these small actions don't require a lot of time, energy, or massive income. They simply require commitment to your financial future. By incorporating small, consistent actions into your daily routine, you can begin building wealth, step by step, and just like compound interest, those actions will add up, creating a snowball effect that works in your favor. If you're serious about making these small actions work for you, don't forget to subscribe to Next Capital. In the next video, we'll dive deeper into the power of investing and how small investments today can turn into major wealth in the future. As we've seen, small, consistent actions are essential for building wealth. But there's one powerful factor that often goes unnoticed: your environment. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your habits, mindset, and ultimately, your financial success. It influences the decisions you make, the people you surround yourself with, and even how you view money. To understand this, let's take a look at how environment shapes your behavior. Your surroundings, whether it's the people you hang out with, the culture at your workplace, or the media you consume, all contribute to how you think and act about money. For instance, consider the influence of your social circle. If you're surrounded by people who are always talking about money, success, and financial freedom, you're more likely to adopt a mindset that aligns with these values. On the other hand, if you're around people who are constantly complaining about their finances or avoiding discussions about money, it's easy for you to fall into the same patterns of behavior. Social influence is a powerful tool in shaping how we view money. Just like how peer pressure can influence your choices in high school, Peer pressure in adulthood can affect how you manage money. Take Ethan, for example. He comes from a family where money was always a taboo subject. His parents didn't talk about saving, investing, or budgeting. As a result, Ethan grew up with a limited understanding of personal finance. He struggled to save money, and his debt grew as he tried to keep up with his peers. But when Ethan moved to a new city and started spending time with a group of friends who were passionate about financial independence, his mindset shifted. They discussed topics like investing in stocks, real estate, and side hustles. Ethan learned about compound interest, budgeting, and how to manage debt. Within a year, he had turned his financial situation around by adopting healthier habits, all thanks to the positive influence of his new environment. Your environment also includes the workplace culture. In a work environment where everyone is focused on growth and success, you're more likely to adopt the same mentality. For example, if your colleagues are always sharing books, articles, and success stories about managing money, you'll likely feel motivated to do the same. But if the workplace culture revolves around complaining about salaries, avoiding challenges, and resisting change, it can be difficult to stay focused on your financial goals. This is why creating a wealth-building environment is so important. It's not just about the decisions you make, it's also about the environment you immerse yourself in. Surrounding yourself with people who encourage growth, learning, and financial responsibility can have a profound impact on your success. One way to create a wealth-building environment is by joining communities or networks focused on financial education. These can include online forums, financial literacy workshops, or even local investment clubs. The key is to surround yourself with people who share similar values and goals. Mentorship is another crucial element in shaping your financial future. Having someone guide you, share their experiences, and provide you with advice can accelerate your growth in ways that would be difficult to achieve on your own. Let's take a quick example. Maria, a young professional, wanted to learn more about investing but felt overwhelmed by all the information online. One day, she joined an online investment community and quickly found a mentor who had been investing for years. The mentor shared valuable insights, like diversification and index fund investing, and guided Maria in making her first investment. Over time, Maria's wealth grew significantly, all thanks to her decision to place herself in an environment that supported her financial education. It's not just about what you do, but who you surround yourself with and the environment you create. If you're constantly exposed to negative financial influences, you'll likely struggle to build wealth. However, if you intentionally place yourself in an environment that fosters growth, learning, and financial responsibility, your chances of success will increase dramatically. That's why it's essential to curate your environment with care. You have the power to choose the people, the communities, and the information that will guide you toward your financial goals. Wealth building is not just about individual actions, it's about creating an ecosystem that supports your growth. Surround yourself with people and resources that inspire you, and your financial future will follow. Now, as we move toward the conclusion, it's time to think about how you can begin to design your wealth-building environment. In the next part, we'll wrap up the key lessons and explore actionable steps you can take to start building your wealth today. Don't forget to subscribe to Next Capital, as we'll be sharing more strategies on how to take control of your finances and build the life you want. As we reach the final part of this video, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've covered so far. You've learned about the silent forces working against you, things like lifestyle inflation, hedonic adaptation, and how easily small financial habits can snowball into something much bigger than you realize. But here's the most important takeaway from all of this. Building wealth is a long-term process. And it's built upon the small, consistent decisions you make every single day. Let's summarize the key lessons. Lifestyle inflation is one of the biggest obstacles to building wealth. It's not just about getting a raise, it's about how you manage that extra income. If you allow your spending to rise with your income, you'll never create the financial freedom you desire. The key is to keep your lifestyle in check, even as your income grows. Hedonic adaptation makes it difficult for us to enjoy the rewards of our success. We quickly become accustomed to new comforts, and what once seemed like a luxury soon feels like a necessity. But instead of falling into this trap, You have the power to control your desires and make intentional financial decisions that lead to long-term success. Discipline is the cornerstone of financial freedom. Delayed gratification, the ability to say no to short-term pleasures in favor of long-term wealth, is essential. Whether it's saving a small percentage of your income, tracking your expenses, or avoiding impulse purchases, these small habits compound over time and set you up for long-term success. Your environment shapes your financial habits. Surrounding yourself with people who share similar financial goals and values is crucial. Create a wealth-building environment by joining communities focused on financial education, seeking mentorship, and learning from others who are on the same path. Small, consistent actions lead to big results. Building wealth isn't about making one big move. It's about showing up every day, making smart financial decisions, and allowing them to compound over time. As the saying goes, success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. The next step: take action. Now that you understand these key principles, it's time to take action. Here are a few actionable steps you can start today to begin your journey toward financial freedom. Track your spending. Spend a week tracking every expense, no matter how small. This will help you identify areas where you can cut back and redirect that money towards savings or investments. Set up an emergency fund. Start by saving just $1 for emergencies. Once you've reached that goal, aim to build 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. Automate your savings. Set up automatic transfers into your savings or investment accounts. This will help you stay consistent and make saving feel effortless. Invest regularly. Start investing in low-cost index funds or retirement accounts. Even if it's just a small amount each month, the key is consistency. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals, join financial education groups, find a mentor, and surround yourself with people who motivate you to make smarter financial decisions. Keep learning. Personal finance is a lifelong journey. Continuously educate yourself about money, investing, and financial independence. The more you learn, the more you'll be equipped to make better decisions. Your financial future is in your hands. Remember, building wealth is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It takes time, patience, and the willingness to stay disciplined. The key is to start small, stay consistent, and make intentional decisions that align with your financial goals. By doing this, you can create the financial freedom you've always dreamed of. But none of this matters unless you take action. You are the one in control of your financial future. And the first step begins now. If you found value in this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Next Capital. We've got more insights, tips, and actionable strategies coming your way to help you take control of your finances and build lasting wealth. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family who could benefit from this information. Together, we can all create the financial freedom we deserve. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.